and welcome back to the channel. My name's John, and today we're going to try to create a skid steer log splitter. I want to turn this splitter into a skid steer attachment. It looks like it's currently set up for a 3-point hitch on a tractor. I need to take this control valve assembly off, and I'm not going to need that anymore. These are so old, they're going to need to be replaced, I believe. I don't even know if I can get this apart. And then I'm going to need to probably flip it upside down somehow. First thing I want to do is, let's get this out of here. I don't know if I mentioned the reason I'm doing this because it's so much easier to split firewood when you don't have to get out of the cab of the skid steer. So this will be really helpful to at least get those big pieces cut into smaller pieces, and then I can take the smaller pieces and load them up on a splitter or split in my hand or whatnot. But for those big pieces, you know, I'm really looking forward to this. So let's give it a try. All right, so first thing I'd like to do, I'd like to take this whole assembly off, and then I'd like to hook it up to the skid steer as it is, just to see if this is leaking, see if I can get it to move in and out, and then we can worry about refabricating it. I have some extra lines over here on this attachment for my skid steer that I think I can just take off temporarily before I order any new ones, because I know this will fit the skid steer right here. This is what I want to hook it up to, this front attachment here. There we go. Oh, there we go. All right. So here's where I need to get a 90 degree, I think, because what I want to do is flip this whole thing around if I can to protect this line and put it under here. And I probably need a 90 degree fitting right there. There's not much room, maybe 1.5 inches. Same with here. I can't come straight out like this. I need to turn it immediately if I'm going to flip this over. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that hose is gone. There we go. All right. These are a little bit wider than these, so I'm gonna have to figure out if there's an adapter from this size to this size. So I've been waiting on a few things before I can start this project. One is to find a decent, you know, splitter that's not real expensive. This one cost me $125, $100 at a yard sale. So I'm hoping it'll work. The seals may need to be replaced. It's been sitting outside for a long time, so we'll figure that out. But the other thing I need was a skid steer plate. Dang, this is a pretty heavy duty skid steer plate. I think that's 1/2 inch steel. Holy moly, no wonder it's so heavy. It's about $165 or something. It was, or maybe $150. It was pretty cheap, I thought, for this steel. I mean, this thing is massively heavy. Yeah, so that is gonna be strong. So let me show you what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna put that. All right, so that's gonna sit. All right, so instead of, we're gonna have to cut this off. I'll probably cut this off, and then we'll put the skid steer plate on here. Obviously we'll flip it around. We'll be able to attach the skid steer to this. These lines are no good, right? These are old, they've been sitting outside. I'm not gonna reuse those. I'm gonna take this whole pump off, and I'm gonna hook directly to the 2 ports on the cylinder here. I'm just gonna reuse these. The only problem is this fitting here that connects right here is not the same fitting that connects on the bush hog splitter. All right, so this is one of the fittings that came off the back here, and it's a tapered fitting, and it's 3/8 of an inch. I need to get an adapter, MNPT, male national pipe tapered thread. So I needed to fit it into a 3/8 inch, which is MBSPP, which is male British standard pipe thread, and it's not tapered. That I had to get custom made, by the way. They did not, they could not find this anywhere. So I got 2 of them. I got 2 90 degrees. I got the one that's tapered and a 1/2 inch, and the one that's 3/8 inch, and that's not tapered. That's male British, and this is standard. So there's so many different pipe threads. I had to take it to this store, Columbia Rubber and Gasket. If you're anywhere in Columbia, Tennessee, this ask for Jared. He will fix you up. They custom made this. They welded it here, or they brazed it right there, because they didn't even have this. They couldn't even find this part. So they bought this part, brazed it together, and only charged me, how much did they charge me? $44 including tax for both of these, which I thought was not too bad considering the custom work and delivery. That included delivery too. So call those people if you need a custom thread made. Male British, they use compression right here. I actually like these better. They form a better seal than this. You need to put thread tape around here, and not a big fan of that. We're gonna have to do some custom fabrication here, because I want to cut this off. I don't need it. I'm gonna cut this off here, and I'm gonna weld this directly up to here, and then I need to take all this off and hook it up to those new lines. All right, I don't think I'm gonna need to use this again. I don't know if I'm gonna save that. That might go in the junk pile. All right, this is the unboxing of the Bestarc BTC 500DP. There it is. With that clamp, little power source here, accessories. All right, let's try this out. This can be used with 110 volts or 220. Right on the top, it shows you how thick you can use this at, and so I could feasibly here come all the way up, looks like to 1 inch of thickness. I mean, that's a pretty big thief. I don't think I'm ever going to be cutting through 1 inch. So I've got this tool all set up, the Bestarc tool. It's hooked up to 220 volt right now. That gives me a little bit more higher voltage. I can hook up through this if I need to, more amps. But for this thin piece right here, this looks like 1/8, maybe 3/16 metal. All it needs is about 50 psi and 30 amps. Gives you a nice gauge right up top. This is the first time using this machine, so hopefully I got it set up right. I'm just going to cut these 2 wings off here because I do not need those. So I've got my ground hooked up, got my air compressor going, as you can hear. Let's try this out. Got a little safety switch there. All right. There we go. Not too bad. That took me a second to get used to. But that's a pretty good cut. There's a little slag on this side. I definitely need a little practice. You know, how fast you need to go, what setting you need to go on. You know, without a guide. Hey man, that's easy work. I like this machine. You know, you can do that with the torch too, but this makes it pretty easy. I do need to cut this off. You still need to cut it off about right here too. All right, well that's kind of how I want to weld it on that plate right there. So I'll just center it on there, tack weld it a little bit, and before I weld the entire thing up, we'll maybe test it out. Let's see if this will be good enough. One gusset there and one over there. I think that'll be all right. All right, so I got a few tacks on here. I may switch over to stick welding. We'll see. Maybe maybe I'll go ahead and put the pump in there too. Check it out, see how it works before I finish it up welding. All right, I changed my mind. It's just too heavy. I like the position where it is right now for welding. I'm gonna finish welding it before I do anything else. It's just in such a good position, nice and flat like that. All right, well, I just ran out of wire. I have some more, but for now, I think I got good enough welds on here. I started getting pretty good on it right here. You can see right there is pretty decent weld. This is pretty crappy. Yeah, I'm starting to get better at it. So that's a good weld there. That's a pretty good weld. Over here is pretty decent. So I think it'll hold. I don't need too much weld on there. I can always add some more later if it has a problem, but this is really good practice for me. Let's move on to the next step. Let's hook up the hydraulics. All right, I'm going to turn this like this. Yep, I know I'm losing a lot of hydraulic fluid. So right now there's a lot of hydraulic fluid leaking out. I rotated this piston 180 degrees so I can have these connectors protected. Now I need to install these nipples here. Okay, I think that's good. Let's go ahead and hook up the hydraulic lines here. Let's hope they're in the right direction. Forgot to flip this over. Holy moly. That busted right out of there. Right out of there. Dang. Dang. Okay, well, it was working. It was working for a second. Until, wow. Did that break off? Oh yeah. That broke off right there. Maybe I didn't have it all end far enough.
Since this is a tapered connection here, I think I probably tightened it too much and thus weakened the joint there.
So, hey guys, what you doing here? I guess they heard the commotion. The casing just cracked off there. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this in there. That's half the threads are gone. I don't think I'd even be able to twist it in there. I've been trying here, but it's just not going to, it's not going to grab, I don't think. So it looks like I need to get another cylinder. In any case, I don't know. I guess there'll be a part 2 of this video. Maybe I just close it out here and this will be part 1. I gotta find some more parts. I mean, it worked for a second. I was about ready to go split some wood. Don't you drink that hydraulic fluid. That's not gonna taste very good. Well, that's a bummer. There she is. I'll go ahead and close this video out. If this is, you know, your first time watching, Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully there will be a part 2 of this. I will get it working. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. I can't finish the video like that. I just ordered a new 5-inch cylinder here. Look at that. Much beefier. Much beefier. That's gonna be nice. That's hopefully gonna be not only stronger, maybe a little bit faster. Oh yeah, we're gonna power through some wood. Power through some wood with that guy. Look at this. Look at the difference on that one. This one to this one. This is a 1.5 inch cylinder. I think this might be 2. Yeah, so that's gonna be a little stronger. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of modification. Look at the end here. It's got a little hole there for an attachment. And I believe, yeah, this hole is a little bit bigger. Yeah, so here's the pin that goes into this. I think it's a 1-inch pin, and this is, yeah, that's definitely, maybe we'll find a bushing or something to put in there. And then we're gonna have to probably cut this front of this off right here. We can cut it off right there. Weld it on right here. Is that what we're gonna have to do? Yeah, maybe we'll do that. All right, so the next step I have to do here is cut this off and attach it here. Ideally, I would like to just get a pin in here so I don't have to weld anything on here, but what that would do really would push this back about 4 inches, and this is only a 24 stroke, so it would basically end about right here, you know, about 5 inches short probably. So I want it to at least come all the way up here, so it'll give me about 25 inches, you know, once this is fully out, about right there. There you have it, a fairly clean cut. Let's clean that up a little bit more. I beveled the edge a little bit, so I'll have some room for some weld. Something like that. All right, I'm gonna tack this on here. I think I've got it centered pretty well. I'm gonna heat this up just a little bit. Maybe that'll help it. The weld right here. All right. My first attempt at it. Not too terrible. That's a little slappy there, but might be all right. Okay. 24 1/4. All right, so if that comes out all the way, it'll still give me a 1/4 inch before it hits. I found a scrap piece of pipe here. This will fit in here just perfectly. Probably not that strong. I think it'll do okay. All right, now we're back to kind of where we started, but we have a problem. This is a 3/4 inch opening, not a 1/2 inch opening. So I had to get adapters here, 3/4 to 1/2 inch. So the problem lies in the fact that this is going to stick out so far remember this is the bottom side. I could hit this on the ground accidentally and break these adapters or break something. So look at that, that's even above that. So I think I need some sort of protection here so I can put this on the ground without having to worry about this. So let's see what we can do about that. I'm gonna try not to make the mistake of screwing this in too tight like I did last time. Remember the last time I flipped this, so these knobs were underneath here, they were protected. Now these are there's not enough room to flip it, so these knobs are exposed. I think I can do something like this. Maybe come in underneath here. So I've got some scrap metal over here. All right, let's see how that fits there. And we've got another scrap piece over here. That's probably good enough, I think. I could put something all the way across, but I think that'll be okay. Well, there you go, I got a couple tacks there. A little bit on this side. Here. Here. And back there. I think that'll be good enough just to, if I want to lay this down, it'll protect those hoses. All right, I think we're about ready to hook this up and try it out. All right, it looks like it's working. Wait, no, it's not. What leaks? What's leaking? What is leaking here? All right, it's leaking. All right, I didn't put any Teflon tape. I'm gonna have to take these off, put Teflon tape on all this stuff. All right, in my zeal to get this together, you know, I didn't want to over tighten it again, obviously. So let's take this off and put some Teflon tape on this. And I gotta switch these anyway, because this is the close. Ah. I didn't take you through all that, but I got Teflon tape on both of these, screwed them all the way in pretty tight. And I lost probably a gallon or two of hydraulic fluid, so I'll have to put some more hydraulic fluid in here. Yeah, I probably lost all that hydraulic fluid. Alright, that's all the hydraulic fluid I have. That was at least 2.5 gallons. Alright, that was good test all the way in, all the way out. Do not see any leaks, I don't believe. This wood sucks. It's like pine. I mean, you can see it wasn't splitting at all. It's wet. I need to get some good hardwood. Work much better. At least I can cut it and pick up these pieces, pick up the broken pieces and split it much easier. This is probably just good for really big pieces. You know, it's not going to do fine work. I might do a few mods on this to make it a little bit easier, like extending this, maybe making that a little bit longer might help grab some of this stuff. I'd say under 500 bucks. I mean, I did have to pay 350 on that, 100 bucks on this and 150 on that. Maybe you'll see me using it some more, doing some more tweaks to it. But you know what to do. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Click follow if you haven't followed already, and we'll catch you on the next one.